So on the 17th of March every year comes a day that is filled with punitive and anti-green measures, a lot of these shamrocks, things which will grow out of real rocks, people pretending to be Irish, and a lot of people getting drunk on colored beer. So what traditions do we celebrate every year at this day when we don four-leaf clovers and wear green? What beliefs do we have about this day that ring true although they aren't? What sort of reality can we see through the fantasies of this grand holiday? There are a few, ones we probably aren't even aware of, so grab yourself some corned beef and cabbage, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Traditionally, it's said that St. Patrick was the one who drove all the snakes from Ireland. In fact, it's highly unlikely that Ireland ever had snakes. The region is mostly close enough to the Arctic Circle that it would make cold-blooded animals not have much of the way of movement, and snakes are reptiles, which they are cold-blooded. So any snakes that might get shipped there by accident wouldn't survive very long at all. But here's something that might have given an origin to the tale. It is admittedly just an idea, but it might explain a lot. For the first few millennia, snakes were respected and, in the time of those who had venom, even feared. If you think about it, it would make sense since snakes would eat rodents and other vermin of the sort, so they were likely not killed. But then we get into the years after the liftoff of Christianity, and, unfortunately, the status of snakes went from being respected to being hated. After all, it was a snake that tempted Eve to eat the forbidden fruit, so they must all be some kind of evil. Then Christianity came to Ireland, and the papal conclave declared that Ireland would be entirely a Catholic province if only they could somehow make it stick. They reached through time to one young man that we know of today and told about how, somehow, this saint was able to drive the snakes from the island, and thus the legend would be born. The traditional meal of St. Patrick's Day isn't right in the fact that it's not actually an Irish dish. The tradition actually entered into the holiday's life when the feast day of St. Patrick came to America. Many Irish actually consume pork on that day. I'll be discussing this a little more later on, but let's just say that not everything we celebrate with this holiday isn't Irish in the slightest. It may not even have origins in the holiday tradition at all. But there are many things that seem to get a fix later on. For example, dyeing beer green is a recent so-called tradition, and there are many parades on this day to celebrate the Irish heritage that many Americans have. It's nothing that is meant to be insulting or degrading. It's just a sense of unity for Irish Americans. Believe it or not, it's not green. It's actually blue. Everything we know and love about this holiday and color is clearly wrong when we see the fact that many Irish see green as unlucky. A careful review of the tradition clearly states that green, the color of living plants and hence the color of life itself, isn't what the Irish go for. Sure, with the coming vernal equinox, it tends to go down not so much as a celebration of the Christian missionary, but also perhaps a celebration of the coming of spring and of the return of plant life to the earth it's planted in. But then comes the confusion. How did green get connected to St. Patrick's Day if it's considered unlucky? I believe it has to do with the upcoming equinox more than anything else. Somehow, since many crops can be planted before, it's kind of attached, much like many things I gave over Christmas was hooked onto the holiday because it was a Christianization of a pagan holiday, and the equinox is a pagan holiday. After all, many holidays with its origins in Christianity were actually pagan holidays to begin with, which is why I think there are those holidays that don't get celebrated on the same day every year. So what is the official color of St. Patrick's Day? It's actually blue. Still, there are many who would pinch you if you don't wear green. So it might be safer just to avoid. As it's celebrated internationally, it was America that turned it into the green-loving, beer-drinking holiday it's become. Perhaps it had something to do with the fact that Ireland isn't the home of the most Irish by population. It's actually America. You'd probably realize this if you think about how many people have Irish-sounding names. A simple look at the phone book app will tell you how many people there are that have the old O apostrophe name in it. But many never forget their Irish roots. One such person you've probably heard of, namely Michael Flatley, the one who made tap dancing cool again by creating elaborate shows where it's the main course. And then there's the group Celtic Woman, a rather unique venue, and Celtic Thunder. Go ahead, look it up in the search bar above, but after this video. You can probably name a few more uniquely Irish traditions that come to mind, one of which is the idea of the leprechaun, a small person who tries to cobble for the Fae, and here it comes a St. Patrick's tradition source. As you are no doubt aware, it's a punitive measure against someone not wearing green to pinch said person. It comes from the idea that green is a color leprechauns can't see, so they tend to ignore that. But if they see somebody who didn't bother to wear green, they will pinch them. But what tradition above all the others is the most wrong? Which St. Patrick's Day so-called fact is actually a mistake? What can be said enough to make it to the top of this list that's not real at all? This may surprise some, might even infuriate a few. The man we know as St. Patrick was born in Roman-occupied England and was actually a slave sold to Ireland. He wasn't some benevolent leader or some holy Christian crusader when he first went there. He was a kid. He entered into theology after his tenure as slave was done and returned there a little later to try and spread the message of Christianity. He is said to have claimed personally baptizing thousands of converts, but, and here's another little fun fact, he wasn't the one to bring Christianity to Ireland. There is a myth that he used a shamrock, which became a staple of this day, to teach the Holy Trinity, the idea that many churches still use this day. It's not actually a staple of Ireland, nor has it been anything close to it. It's just a coincidence that suggested something close to this. That and the layout of said leafy plant does resemble another Christian symbol. There are many other legends on this very interesting person, many of which can't be verified and even thought of as real. It's a given fact that St. Patrick has a feast to his honor and that he is listed as a saint, but as of this day's recording, he has never actually been formally canonized. So that's it. You may notice this video is a day late, and that's on purpose. I didn't have anything formally planned out for St. Patrick's Day, but decided to stick this video between the weekly recording and the day itself. As usual, I ask for a like, comment, and a subscribe so you can be updated when I do stick another video up here. So be safe, ensure you don't drive drunk, enjoy the day, and I know you made it to the end or not, believe me, but here's a riddle that might help. What kind of female musical group is forbidden from ever entering any particular venues?